Hmm. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, just picking up. Hmm. All right. All right. Welcome back. Today, I want to talk a little bit about the grind. And no, I don't mean one of my favorite doesn't exist anymore. I used to be their businesses from my hometown called the grind. So anyone watching this knows what I'm talking about. Give me a thumbs up. Anyway, um, so one thing that I've really been thinking about a lot is how I just really want to be a digital nomad, and I'm kind of there. Except the thing is that no one ever tells you about being a digital nomad is that if you have a place to stay, you will opt to be lazy some days. Traveling takes time and energy, and so it's very hard to prioritize. You know, traveling when there's stuff to do, and that's okay. I mean, of course, there's. I mean, like, let me not start over again, but let me give more context. So, when you work virtually, what do you use for work? Screens, computers, phones, tablets, whatever you are using. And the problem with that is that no matter where you go, no matter what you see, you're still going to have to stare at a computer screen. And I guess I know that and I understand that, but like I just spend so much time working on my computer. It's nuts. Or my tablet or my phone. Just like it's all connected. Like I can do the work from anywhere, and whew, it's so weird because like let me just explain this whole entire thing with an example. I am sitting in a room I am currently renting for a week, working on my computer. I've been working for the past what time is it? Yeah, started working about 3 hours ago. Working for the last 3 hours, ready to start thinking about moving and everything like that, and maybe go to a coffee shop. I had to be downtown a little later, and I could go take my work somewhere else, but that requires travel. And so I am choosing the lazy thing by staying here so that I can spend more of that time working. I think about this and I've talked about this a lot more before now, and I feel like I'm not doing it justice. But long story short, laziness will override the desire to travel when push comes to shove. And that no matter where you go, no matter what you do, if you are working virtually, you're going to be staring at screens. That's just, that's just the reality of things, I guess. So, anyway, every single day I have a lot of to do list items, and one of them is email and Slack checkups. So, if you're not familiar with Slack, it's like Boomer Discord. And if you're not familiar with Discord, it's essentially like Discord and Slack are both like apps that you can get on your phone or your computer. And it's just a whole bunch of chat groups. You can have different chat groups for different topics. You can reply to individual messages, make sub chat groups, and it's a yeah, I use it a lot. I have multiple Slacks that I have to be taken care of. And it is definitely a lot of work that I need to be keeping up with. You know, pretty much I need to be there to respond or give instruction or direction to anyone who reaches out to me. And I'm good at it. I'm good at being corresponsive. But man, it can get you depressed just staring at the same screen all day. Now I'm thinking about how stupid it is that I'm complaining about that. I'm thinking about how stupid it is that I am finding it necessary to complain about convenience. It reminds me of forget who said it in their stand-up routine, but someone was talking about airplanes and how like, oh, airplanes, like they're seen as inconveniences, they're seen as like things that people complain about at. But what you are doing in an airplane is doing what only the ancient Greek gods and goddesses could do. Back in the day. Privilege. Privilege is a hot word. Some people hate it, some people overuse it. What is privilege? It is exactly what its definition is. It is having the ability to do something. Actually, no, I'm not going to make up this. I'm going to look it up. Definition of privilege: a special right, advantage, or immunity granted or available only to a particular person or group. So, while that sounds like it's not politically charged, while it sounds like it's referring to one person in specific, it's really just talking about like, who can do things that other people can't. As a male, as a big male, I have the privilege of walking around at night. I've never been afraid of it. People that try to talk to me, I wouldn't say I scare them off, but I just don't think I'm the kind of person that someone on the street wants to try and get into a tussle with in the middle of the night. However, I also don't have privilege in terms of like what do I not have privilege to do? I don't have the privilege of not worrying about money. I had to worry about money, whereas, and I do not have the privilege of starting an OnlyFans. Well, actually, I do. I'm just saying that, like, there are things that men can do, and then there are things that women can do. OnlyFans is a really bad example of this, but maybe we can switch it to childbirth or something. So anyway, their privilege is not something that we should feel bad about. It's not something we should necessarily stray away from talking about either. But I also think that, by just complaining and brooding about it, you hurt your own ability to gain more privilege. The best way to get privilege: find the prerequisites, work towards it. Anyway, if anyone watches this, please don't start a fight with me about those things, because, like, I didn't actually go into this wanting to talk about any controversial topics, but privilege is a weird thing. That's all I'm saying. It's a thing that we should talk about, and we shouldn't demonize, because privilege is not bad. It's just a thing. All right, 6 more minutes. Maybe I'll just do some work or something. Now I'll talk about Dinner Detective. Hey, Future John, you remember Dinner Detective? Dinner Detective is a performance troupe that sends actors of all shapes and sizes to hang out in a giant room, typically a function room, with a bunch of random people. And then you have 2 of the actors, or detectives, just start shouting at everyone saying, "There's been a murder!" And then 3 of the actors are sneaky, and they don't tell people who they are. and they like act like characters, and then at the end it turns out they died and they were an actor the whole time. What? Anyway, yeah, it's a fun. It's fun, and what I find interesting about it is that out of all the theater I've done, that is probably one of the better paying gigs, which is so weird because they don't have the production quality that many other theaters do. And that is something that I find extraordinarily interesting, because my entire life I've gone through this whole world of theater and thought, oh wow, like you can't really make money off this because there's like everything's so expensive and there's not enough people coming to pay tickets to come see it. And then I see things like Dinner Detective where like just for being a table actor, you get like $55 plus tips, plus reimbursement if you have to drive far for it. I don't know. It's the most lucrative theater while simultaneously being the most simple theater. And Dinner Detective, if you're watching this, please don't take offense to that. Just like, yeah, like there's no, the rehearsal is the rehearsal with all the actors is 2 hours before the show, and like we all supply our own costumes. There's no lights, there's no sound, there's no stage, uh, there's no sets, there's minimal props, just what's in a box. So I don't know. It is what it's supposed to be. That is dinner theater. But at the same time, it's there's something interesting about how it's so successful financially. The answer is that they don't have a lot of costs. The other answer is that they get a lot of people to come to their shows, and I'm trying to figure out how they do that, because I would like to apply that to CBC. Some of our productions coming up are definitely going to be taking inspiration from them. So I'm very excited to go up home for a bit. I know that no one's going to be there. I know that people that I grew up with in New Hampshire, that's not their home anymore. Or if it is, they just never come out. So, and if I see them, then I'm like, who the fuck? I mean, ooh, I just swore on this. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I've just made this R rated. Oh no. Maybe I could just keep on going and no one will notice. I hope I don't get sued. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, and if you do see the people that you grew up with, and you're like, "Who the heck are you?" You are not my friend. You are not my thin, rambunctious friend. You're like a beer gut, like lazy guy who like plays, who like just doesn't leave the house, or oh, you have a kid and you're a mother now, and like I don't know. I long for the past. They used to be more of a problem for me. It's not so much anymore. Um, but you like my purple light that way? Yeah, me too. I just want to stare at myself for a second. Mm. Another successful call. Goodbye.